Hello, hello. I am Coach Cori Sartori. I empower high achieving women to shift their mindset to grow in their self love, confidence, and career. Today, I'm going to talk to you about how creating balance in my life was so beneficial and so valuable. I, for many, many years, was preaching balance to everyone, but I wasn't living a balanced life. I would teach a yoga class and be like, oh, you should have balance, create balance in your life. And I had zero balance. And I lived that way for a long time and it didn't serve me. And I think at the time I wasn't always aware that it wasn't serving me. I think there was moments that I did realize it, but it was just something I was so used to that I just thought that that was how life was supposed to be. I thought it was supposed to be overwhelming, stressful. I thought I had to say yes to everyone and everything. And I just thought I had to be doing it all because I'm a high achiever. So I thought I just had to be doing the most at all times, and I was really out of balance in my life, and it affected me in a negative way. And I'm so incredibly grateful now that I have built awareness around life balance, and it's something that I'm practicing because I am so happy. I am absolutely living a life I love because I have learned how to create balance in my life. So, like I shared, for many years, I was living out of balance. I want to say probably really from 2017 to early 2021, I was out of balance. I started my coaching business in 2016, and because I had always been somebody that was doing everything, by early 2017, I thought I wasn't doing enough. Even though I was teaching yoga, I was a coach and mentor in yoga teacher trainings, and I was also running my business. I thought I needed to be doing more. And so I went and got a full-time job in the beginning of 2017 because I think I craved a little bit more human connection, but I also just had that fear of failure within my business. And so I thought, well, if I go and I'm working full-time, then I won't have to be as terrified of failure. So in 2017, I was teaching yoga. I was working 40 hours a week and I was running my coaching business. And so I was trying to do it all. I was probably working 60 hours a week, and that was fine. I still had time with my husband, but it wasn't sustainable. And we got married at the end of 2017, and we had our son in March of 2018. And I was still trying to do it all. After 3 months of maternity leave, I went back to working full time. I went back to teaching yoga and still running my business. And I had a brand new baby. And so I was completely out of balance, but I just thought that that's how life was. And so I just kept trying to do it all. I kept saying yes to everything and not putting myself or my family first. And I would go teach my yoga classes and tell people to have balance. I would coach my clients and I would tell them to create balance in their life, but I wasn't an example to that. I mean, I have a reminder that now goes off every single day that says to me, practice what you preach. Because for so many years I said, create balance in your life, but I wasn't doing it for myself. And even in 2019, I was still teaching yoga, working full time, and running my business, being a mom, being a wife. And I decided that I needed to do a 300-hour yoga teacher training. And I wanted to do it for my own self-development because I love working on myself and growing myself. Self-development is very important to me. And it's an investment, right? You have to pay a lot of money to do this yoga teacher training, but I wanted the self-development from it. I wanted the growth, and I definitely got that. But again, I was so out of balance. I would spend one weekend a month, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, in this yoga teacher training from the July of 2019 all the way through December of 2019, plus working full time and teaching yoga and trying to do all of the things. And I was just so out of balance. I have to say I'm grateful that 2020 happened, because when 2020 happened, when the world shut down, my yoga studio closed and my full-time job closed. So I got 2 really amazing months home with my son. He had just turned 2 years old, and it was so amazing. It was so valuable to be home with him. And so when things started opening back up, I did go back to working my full-time job. But then when the yoga studio started opening up, I just didn't feel like it was something that I needed to do. I wanted to have balance. I think those 2 months of being home during quarantine with my son were just so incredibly valuable. And it made me realize how much time I wanted to be with him. And so I went back to working my full-time job and I was coaching, but I chose to not do teach yoga anymore. And which was good for me. I was able to have my mornings back and spend time with my family. And then at the end of 2020, my coaching business started to build again. And I started to get really busy. And at the beginning of 2021, I was working my full-time job 40 hours a week. And then I would come home and I would coach for about 20 hours. I think I had almost 10 to 12 clients at that time. So I was just like on calls all the time. I would go work my full-time job and then I'd come home and I'd get on calls and I would coach my clients and I would support them. And so my husband had been promoted at his job recently at that time. And so I was like, okay, this is perfect. I'm going to quit my full-time job and I'm going to create balance. And I quit my full-time job in February 2021. And then in March of 2021, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And so for me, I felt like the universe was saying, slow down, you need to create balance. And I'm sure that I knew that once I left my full-time job, I would have thrown myself fully into coaching and I would have done everything to build my business. I would have been working so many hours to just build my business, right? Because that fear of failure comes up. And so although breast cancer was absolutely brutal and I would never wish it on anyone, I'm grateful it happened because I think it made me stop and just be in the moment. Because not only was I coaching my business, I was coaching for other like fitness retreats in Salt Lake City. So I would go and I would coach their clients, and then I had my own clients. And so I was just doing the most. And so when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, it kind of stopped me, and I chose to stop taking on my own clients. And I would sometimes go do coaching at other retreats and things like that. But it was a really big eye opener for me of like, okay, my time on this earth is so limited and the time that I get with my family is so valuable. Like I have to make a change. And I remember when Lincoln was a baby, I was doing all the things, right? I was doing yoga, full-time job, coaching business. And I remember telling somebody I just don't want to be doing all of this because I want more time with my son. Like I adore him. I want more time with my husband. And somebody said to me like, well, it doesn't matter if you're working this much when your kids are young because they won't remember it. But to me, it was like, I will remember it. I will remember not being present with my son. I will remember not being there watching him grow up. And that was important to me. And so when 2020 happened and we got those 2 months at home and just being with him and so much time together, just was so valuable. And then when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, again, I got that opportunity to just be with my kid and be with my husband. Like, yes, there was a lot of hard times and going to doctor's appointments multiple times a week to figure out treatments and what the hell we were going to do. It was hard, but I would be so present with my son. And he had just turned 3 after he turned 3 and then the next week I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And just those moments of like him being a little boy and just watching him grow was just everything I needed to make me realize that balance was everything. And so, sorry that I'm emotional, but like it's so valuable. So when I decided after I'd gone through chemo and after I'd gone through having a mastectomy, I felt like, okay, I want to get back to working. I love coaching. Like coaching at the end of the day is being in service of other people. And it's just something that I absolutely love doing. I'm so blessed that I get to help so many women shift their mindset and create a life that they absolutely love. And so I was ready. I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to coaching. I'm going to start, really diving into my business again. But I decided that I needed to have balance because for me, it's easy to start something and then I need to do all of the things, or I need to say yes to everybody. And so setting that intention last year in October, saying that I am 100% going to live in balance was so important for me and for my family. And I can honestly tell you now that I do have balance. And I'm going to share with you a couple things that I've done that have helped me to create balance. And they're so important. And they have really helped me live a balanced life. And I can honestly tell you right now, like I am living my best life. I am so in love with my family. I'm so in love with my clients. I love everything about my life and I'm incredibly grateful. Like, yes, I have goals and I'm going to keep working towards them, but like life is pretty magical right now. And a lot of that is because I've chose to create balance in my life. So some of the things that I've done to create balance is setting boundaries, and setting boundaries is so hard for so many of this. I think with a lot of my clients, when I talk to them, they say, well, I really struggle to set boundaries because I want to say yes to everybody. And that was something that I had to do the minute I chose to start diving into my business. So some of the boundaries that I chose to set was to set my hours. So I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday from about 9 a.m. to 5. And depending, sometimes it'll be 10 a.m. to 6. It just depends. But I don't work on Thursdays. I don't take any coaching calls on Thursdays. I might do a live, like I might do, a live, or I might do a social media post. But other than that, I don't. Thursday is my day with my family and I'm 100% present. And then on Saturdays and Sundays, those are my days with my son. And we clean the house, or we go play outside, or we go to the park. But those days are valuable. And when I'm with him, I'm fully with him. And so even at night, I might do a post at 6 p.m., but I don't work, because that's my time with my kid. That's my time with my husband. And so setting those boundaries of when I was going to work and when I wasn't was super important. And another thing that I do within my work day is I have my to-do list, and I work on that. And there's some things that I will set timers on, because I know that those things are what I need to do to drive income. But I make sure I'm very clear on what I need to do that day, and I don't do more. I don't go, oh, well, I could do this, or I could do this, or I could do this. Like when 5 o'clock rolls around, I'm done. I'm out of my office. I'm making dinner. I'm spending time with my family, but I'm not trying to do more than I need to do. So those boundaries have been really, really helpful. And this is something I tell my clients too, is like, you have to set boundaries within your workday. I had a client that I was working with at the end of the year into the beginning of this year, that she was working from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. and missing out on a lot of her personal time or time with her husband. And so we set boundaries of her going in at 8 a.m. and leaving by 6 at the very latest. And then as we worked on what is she doing throughout the day, she was able to start leaving at 5. And so setting those boundaries and committing to them is so valuable, and it gives you so much time back for your own life, because your time is so important. I also got really good at saying no. So I think so many of us are people pleasers. We want everyone to like us, and we want to say yes to everything. And at the beginning of this year, I was running my coaching business, and I had a company reach out to me to create a yoga program for them, where I'd be their yoga program coordinator, and I would create a yoga program for therapists and for their clients. And I really was like, oh, do I do it? I went back and forth, and I had meetings with them. And when I came to the end of the day, when it was like, okay, I need to make a decision on this, I decided that I wasn't going to do it, because looking at my goals and where I want to head within my business, that didn't support my goals, but it also didn't support me in creating balance in my life. If I had chosen to take that on, that would have taken another maybe 20 hours of my week, which, I work about 30 hours on my business every week. That would have been 50 hours. I don't want that. I work from home and I run my own business because I want balance. I want time with my family. And if I had taken that on, it could have easily thrown me out of balance. And so I chose to say no. So one of the things that I want you to start doing is say no. If something is not going to add value to your life, don't do it. If you're just doing it because you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, don't do it. Get comfortable at saying no. And I've had a lot of clients where they've shared with me, like, I say no now, and I feel so good. Yes, it feels so good to say no, because you get your time back. So know that it's okay to say no, even if it's to your family members, even if it's to your best friends. You are the most important person in your life. Choose you. So another thing that I do is I shared with you, I have a to-do list for work, and I have a to-do list for life. So on Sundays, I choose to plan my week. I will write out every last thing I need to do, and then I will put it in my calendar. I write out every meal that I'm going to make for my family, and then all of the groceries we need. Like, I plan. And when you plan, it helps you be more successful in time management. It allows you to create more balance in your life, and also delegate things that you don't need to do. I think this is something that is so important, is we try to do it all, and you don't need to. You can delegate so many things to other people. To clean your house, just hire somebody else to do it. It's not going to cost you that much, and you're going to get all of that time back. And so think of things in your life that you can delegate, so you don't have to necessarily do it. And even in like my business, I delegate things. Like, I don't love the tech stuff. I'm not like, ooh, fun tech. Like, I'll delegate that to somebody else, because that time is my time is better spent doing something else, coaching, right? Like, I want to be a coach. I don't want to be a tech person. And so those are some of the things I do to create balance in my life. And it's really transformed my life in the most beautiful way. And I am incredibly grateful for all of this time that I get, all this time I get for myself, all this time I get with my family. I'm able to, like today, I'm going to go have lunch with a gal pal because I have created balance in my life. Yesterday morning, I went and I had a Reiki session. And so I'm able to do self-care things for myself because I created balance in my life. And I choose to put myself first and my family first before anything else. And so if you are not living a balanced life, I challenge you to figure out what's stopping you and start working on creating more balance in your life by saying no, by planning your life, by delegating. You are valuable and your time is valuable. And so creating balance is so important. And I promise you, when you are living a more balanced life, you are happier and healthier. I get the opportunity to go work out almost, at least 4 or 5 days a week because I've chosen to create balance in my life, because I'm choosing to not teach yoga so I can go to yoga. Right. And it's just incredibly amazing when you choose to take this on. So I challenge each and every one of you to do that. And if you need support, guess what? I'm a life coach and I can help you create balance in your life. I have 4 spots open for my one-on-one coaching program this month. So if you are ready to transform your life, if you are ready to create more balance, set some boundaries, if you want to grow your self-love, let go of your limiting beliefs and so much more, then I'm your girl. So send me a DM right now with the word program and we'll get connected and I will give you more information on how my coaching program can support you in creating the life that you will absolutely love. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being you. I'll see you soon.